Hi there, my name is Chris Compton. I'm the founder and CEO of HVACR.edu.net. Welcome to our studio. This is our adventure in video education. The reason I'm starting with air today is because air is one of the great mysteries of life. To the average technician and to the average student, people just don't get air. What I'd like to point out about air as you go through the module called Airworks, atmospheric air is what we're talking about. It's made up of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and 1% rare gases. The rare gases can be a number of things. One of the popular ones I hear about is argon, other rare gases out there, but it doesn't really matter. The ones that we're interested in, oxygen, obviously, because oxygen is what sustains our life here in this ocean of air that we live in. And nitrogen, just as an aside, nitrogen is a huge waster of all kinds of things in our world. If you're talking about combustion, nitrogen is a waster of heat. One of the issues about air in HVAC is what is called standard conditions. And obviously, we need something to measure from. So in the HVAC world, that measurement platform is called standard conditions. So what does standard conditions mean? Standard conditions mean the specific volume of air is 13.33 cubic feet per pound. That is a specific volume of air under standard conditions. The next specification, specific density. The specific density of air is 0.075 pounds per cubic foot. Here's a cubic foot. Obviously, it's a cubic foot made up of cardboard, but it is a cubic foot, down to the 1/8 of an inch, I believe. So to visualize a cubic foot, here's one. Here's a cubic foot. The other thing that is really helpful for anybody is here is 1.2 ounces of weight. Here's how much a cubic foot weighs. If you want to get one yourself, go out and buy a 7/16 by 1.5 inch bowl. This one happens to be galvanized. And you will have 1.2 ounces of weight in your hand. Really puts a good feel to a cubic foot of air. The next thing that's specific about standard air is specific heat. And if you recall, specific heat is the amount of heat required to raise or lower 1 pound of a substance 1 degree Fahrenheit. The specific heat of air is 0.24 BTUs. So just a shade under 1/4 of a BTU, if you add 1/4 of a BTU to a pound of air, you will have an increase of 1 degree Fahrenheit. If you take away 0.24 BTUs from a pound of air, you will have a drop of 1 degree Fahrenheit. All right, as I mentioned, the specific volume of air is 13.33 cubic feet per pound. One of the things that's magic about air is that you can figure out the weight of a cubic foot of air by doing the reciprocal. So what I'm going to do with here is I'm going to go 1 divided by 13.33 equals 0.075 and then a whole bunch of other numbers. Notice I'm using my cell phone. I know that everybody out there has one of those and you can calculate with it. It's got a calculator on it. Now if I wanted to reverse the process, by the way, 0.075 is the specific weight of 1 cubic foot, the specific density. Density, weight, same deal. So this is a specific density of a cubic foot of air. Now taking it from the specific density side, 1 cubic foot of air weighs 0.075 pounds. So if I want to know the reciprocal of that, which will give me the specific volume, I would calculate 1 divided by 0.075 equals, oh, it's magic, 13.33 forever cubic feet for 1 pound of air. Standard conditions exist under very specific conditions. One of the conditions is that you're at atmospheric pressure, or standard atmospheric pressure, which is 29.92 inches of mercury pressure. That is a standard atmospheric pressure, found normally at sea level, but it can vary from where it's found. The other condition that exists is at 68 degrees Fahrenheit. That would be the dry bulb temperature that you would have to have standard conditions. The other condition that exists is 30% relative humidity. So you have a number of things that determine standard conditions. 29.92 inches of mercury, atmospheric pressure, 68 degrees Fahrenheit dry bulb, and 30% relative humidity. Do standard conditions ever exist? Well, yeah, probably once in a blue moon. But at least we have a measurement structure to start from. Everything else in real life is a variety or a variation of standard conditions.